everyone, Paul Hernandez here, and I am back with Monte Moore. Monte, it is so good to see you. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm glad to finally be back at Comic-Con after our, 2 to 3 year hiatus.
Yeah, and it must be difficult for you because you've been coming to con forever. The last time that we caught up with Monte, if you guys remember, was at Star Wars Celebration. So now you're at San Diego Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be back, sir?
It feels pretty normal. I think other than the mask, just as a safety precaution, but fans are out. I think the record,
Yeah.
all the amount of people are here. So you get to see a lot of returning friends and faces,
Right.
people that I've seen over the course of nearly 3 decades. So
Right.
for me, this is my 28th appearance at Comic-Con.
The Comic-Con veteran.
Very veteran.
Yeah, sometimes I feel so proud. I was like, this is my 10th. Everyone.
Well, yeah. So I was right out of art school. I helped self-publish a comic with some friends of mine back in 1993, and I was the colorist, and that was before there was any digital in coloring. So I airbrushed the entire comic book by hand. So that was a learning experience, and I'm still here.
Now, Monte, you are such a unique painter, and you have dabbled and illustrated in art, in wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that has become like you feel like your signature, or is this something that you've been drawn to as a child, or you developed later in life?
I really, in about 2018, I started doing some Western and wildlife art. I grew up on a 30,000 acre cattle ranch in Idaho, and my family has 4 generations of background in agriculture.
Wow.
And so it was a bit like returning to the roots because there was a lot of Western and wildlife on our walls in our house because of ranching and being a cowboy and that sort of thing. My dad, Remington and Russell and artists like that was who was on the walls, not Frazetta and people we might know through pop culture.
Or Monte Moore yet.
Yeah, but it's getting there. So I am now represented in a number of galleries throughout the country, and that's something that makes me very proud, is to have that diversity in both subject, style, and media.
Right. Yeah, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to, in our own in-house galleries, to feature some of your art. And not only the previous art galleries we've done, but I'm sure in the future ones that we'll do. Monte, of course, will be there. Now, Monte, we're fortunate to be in your booth. It looks great. I love this art, this hallway we have. Can you talk to us a little bit about maybe some special stuff you brought to Comic-Con specifically?
There's some pieces here that is very unique to this particular year. And some of them are pieces that actually I acquired back from collectors.
Okay.
There's a TMNT number 100 cover painting here on the right.
Great.
And then these 3 pieces are really unique because they're 20-year-old paintings from Magic the Gathering.
Wow.
And I sold them 20 years ago, and the collector wanted to thin their art collection a little bit. They offered them back to me first. I had them framed with the original concept sketches. So these are pieces of Magic the Gathering history. So I really love it when I see the fans come in and they go, oh my gosh, it's like a grail kind of
a
thing.
small grail right in front of their eyes,
because they don't see that older art. And so much art today in illustration is digital. So there's fewer traditional art pieces being created in the gaming industry than there used to be, because 80-90% of it would be digital.
Right.
So that's a unique part about having the original art.
Wow. And a lot, so we see some familiar art here. Some of this in various forms is up
the Mandalorian collection.
Is beautiful. And the use of light alone. We could talk about this for hours, but you've got a busy booth, and he's been gracious enough to clear it for us for this interview. And again, some of the art that you guys will see on here is available at SIDESHOW.com. But I think it's so interesting to know, and for our fans to know, that you had such a hand in Magic the Gathering in some way, shape, or form, because we have, there's a lot of crossover there with fans. That's fascinating.
And it's fortunate for me to get to do all these different things. This is also the first time that I brought, especially a sculptural piece this large. This piece here is called Workhorse, and it's a piece that represents my next graphic novel that's coming out.
Okay, Workhorse.
So since COVID, this will be the 6th graphic novel that I've published that are 48 pages or more. And some of the original art done by artist Lorenzo Nicoletti in Italy did all the interiors.
Wow.
And so that's a piece that we're promoting here at the show to let people know about that particular Kickstarter.
That's wonderful.
So as a publisher, I'm trying to always be writing and creating new stories.
Right.
And it allows me to tell wider universe stories rather than a singular piece of art.
Right.
You get to create the, Monteverse.
Yes, yeah, we love the Monteverse. Now Monte, we're gonna let you get going, but we've got to know. I was thinking about what questions do I want to ask someone who's been coming to con for 28 years. So the best thing I'm so curious about. Do you have any interesting rituals that you do when you come to con? Like, I like to eat dinner at like the same place whenever I would come to Comic-Con. Do you have any interesting rituals that you've been doing for 28 years, and then that's when you're at Comic-Con?
It's not necessarily the restaurant, it's more of the people that I get to see. So there's almost always hey, let's get together and have dinner. And we used to go to the Karl Strauss brewery, was it Gordon Biersch? It was one of the breweries here in town.
Okay.
And for 10, 15 years, that was where we always had the opening night dinner.
Oh.
They served late. We knew we could get in after preview night. And so it was nice for me last night that my friend Mark Brown, who's also a writer, he and I came into the industry together. So we were reminiscing and said, hey, neither one of us have missed 28 years.
Yeah.
And we're still here doing it. So, you talk about the old road trips and things like that.
Of course.
Because of the amount of stuff I have to drive.
Yes.
And I will say the one funny ritual that people would always laugh at is in the middle of Utah at the truck stop, where you usually have to stop and get gas, in Richfield, Utah, is a Taco Time.
Okay.
And Taco Time is more of a northwestern taco chain where I grew up in Idaho, and they don't have them in Colorado.
Okay.
So no matter what, even if we had already it was between lunch or dinner, I would say, we have to stop. We have to go to Taco Time and get some crispy meat burritos.
Of course.
And they're like, what's the deal? And I said, it's a tradition.
Yeah.
So there has not been a road trip that on one or the other passes that I didn't stop at Taco Time. Strange tradition. It's just something we do.
Well, I know what us and the team are doing right after this. It's Taco Time all the time here.
Crispy meat burrito. Very tasty, not healthy. Very tasty.
Heard it from a con veteran himself. Monte, thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for joining
Thank
us.
you guys.
Everyone, come see Monte at San Diego Comic-Con if you can, or you can find Monte pretty much at sideshow.com. Where else can they find a majority of your work, Monte?
The pop culture website is Maverick Arts, name of my studio. My Western art is theartofmontemore.com.
Okay.
And we have a brand new gallery just showcasing the Mandalorian collection, and that's called Galaxy Art Guild.
All right.
But they can find all those same products on SIDESHOW.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Monte.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you
Thank
all so much for watching. And don't forget to let your geek side show.
# expect more.